Everyone thinks that teens in our world today use alcohol, tobacco, or drugs to cope with everyday struggles. You may think they do.
But they don't. Welcome to the But They Don't podcast, a podcast for teens by teens. Join us as we cover substance use prevention, mental health, community conversations, and more.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the But They Don't podcast. My name's Katie.
And I'm Parker.
I had to drag Parker onto this podcast today.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm having fun.
You'll survive. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about athletes and mental health since it is still Suicide Prevention Month. And I think everyone has kind of heard about the mental health stuff that's going on in the sports world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just wanted to kind of touch on that. So recently, a lot of students have been standing up and making it known that mental health has been a problem for student athletes. And, we just want to touch on it.
So for those who don't know, what is a student athlete?
A student athlete is a student that plays a sport or multiple sports through that school or maybe even not through that school, through clubs.
So why is mental health in student athletes declining so rapidly?
Because they're expected to be at the top of their game all day, every day. Students are not just expected to be perfect on the court, field, track, whatever that sport requires. They're also expected to be really good in school and make really good grades and be like a role model for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And student athletes are also praised whenever they play well on the field or on the court, but they're bashed when they do horrible, and it puts a lot of pressure on them mentally.
Yeah. Another thing is, I don't want to say they don't have a social life, because they do, but between practice, weightlifting, film, on a bus to a game, this is more towards college, because that's what I got all my statistics from. In their dorm doing schoolwork, in class, sleeping for the 5 minutes that they get. And I did take a picture of a normal schedule for a D1 athlete. It's it's 5 to 6 a.m. Wake up, get breakfast. 6 to 8 is strength and conditioning. 8 to 8:30 is team meeting. 8:30 to 9 is shower, go to class, or shower classes. That's what it says on here. Shower classes. I didn't know you needed a class to go shower.
Oh, no. I think shower classes. No, I think it means shower, then go to class.
Sorry. It literally says shower space classes on here, so I just, we have to joke about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is classes and lunch. 2 to 2:30 is film study. So I know for volleyball, that's huge because you got to kind of learn where to put the ball so you can win.
Yeah, absolutely.
2:30 to 3:15 p.m. is getting taped, getting ready for practice. Normally, kind of if you did have an injury or you're just having some problems, get taped. And
especially with bigger teams, it takes a super long time for that taping period. So
which is why they put 45 minutes down. 3:30 to 6 p.m. team practice. That's a really long time for practice, but when you're a D1 athlete, that's very, very important.
Yeah, and they're also, most of the practices are based in modules, and they're spaced out pretty well, so they're not, killing themselves over there.
6 to 7, shower, treatment. Treatment, I think, goes kind of hey, I did pull this a while back. This is to help it.
Yeah. So a lot of the time there's treatment with that. Then there's also the recovery period, which I don't know if it's on that list or not.
I think that's what it goes
for treatment.
Yeah, that's probably what
so
they mean,
usually it's a lot of time with ice bath, or you're basically having your shower time as well. Some places that are bigger have massage rooms and stuff that they do. So there's plenty of stuff they make amenities for.
Yeah. 7 to 7:30 is eat dinner. 7:30 to 9 p.m. academic support and study hall. Because D1 athletes, not even just D1 athletes, D2, D3, they're traveling everywhere. So they're not always going to be in class just because they are gone. I went to a Nebraska-Kentucky game. Nebraska had to probably miss class Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had to come back from Kentucky. And that's a good,
too long for me to count on my hand.
Yeah. All I know is that they had to go on a plane.
Yeah.
All I know. Then 9:30 to midnight is finish homework and go to sleep.
Yeah, it's a full day, and that's just for D1, and like even some high schools, especially on the bigger level. I know us being in Pickens, we don't have a whole lot of that, but a lot of these bigger name high schools, they have national schedules, so they have the same type of stress that a lot of these D1 schools can have, and like it's a lot on one person at one time. So you can only imagine just all the stress that they're going through.
Yeah, and I've never had like a 5:30 practice, so I don't know, but I know some of the girls that are on the basketball team at my school, they have practice in the morning at like 5:30 or 6, something like that. Then they have first period weightlifting as a team, and then they go to school, and then they probably have another practice after that.
Yeah, whenever I was in high school playing football, it was definitely a very on timely thing. We basically ran 2-a-days every day. So 5:30 every morning, it was optional, but like you pretty much had to come. Yeah. Where 5:30 in the morning, you were in the weight room lifting from 5 to 7:30, and then school would start, and then you'd have like 30 to 45 minutes after school gets out, and then you'd be at practice, and then there's another lifting period. So it takes a lot of time. You really don't have much of a social life whenever like you're in season. Out of season's a little bit better, but like in season, that's all you're doing.
I know for volleyball, like we have our in season, which is school ball. Mm-hmm. And if you were really that committed, you had club ball, which is like travel. It's more of your like elite. It's where your top players go and actually play. And that's when you get seen by colleges, stuff like that. And that schedule is a lot. And you're not practicing every day, but you have 2 practices a week. Then that weekend you're going to a tournament. If you have a day off from school, like Martin Luther King Day for school, then you probably have a 3-day tournament, which you are playing Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Mm-hmm. So that takes a lot. I know when I did it, it was a lot for me.
Yeah, we had them a lot with 7-on-7 tournaments, which is, just the normal no pads, just running around against air and stuff. So it's you're basically taking your whole weekend out doing it.
High school student athletes, obviously, like, I'm in high school, so, and I was an athlete. Now I'm just helping out at the middle school. We are cruel. I will tell you that. We are cruel. We are rude.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
But, I mean, we're high schoolers. We don't really know that much. Parker. You have to deal with us.
Look, even whenever I was y'all's age, like, I was horrible. Like, you could ask anybody, especially, if you're an athlete. It's kind of hard, too, even when you're an athlete, to, like, watch what you say and make sure that you're being careful about what you're doing, because sometimes a lot of that ego can get to your head.
Yeah. And in high school, it's not as bad as middle school, because middle schoolers are definitely trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we still make really dumb decisions, and it's just like, gosh, I regret that. Mm-hmm. And we do have that immaturity still.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not as much. We have like matured in some aspects, but we still are immature. I remember coaches always saying like, watch what you post. My dad always told me, watch what you post. Even if you take it down, good chance that they will still see it.
Even if you take it down, it can be brought back up somehow.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you need to be very careful. Like, even if it's like, I don't know, Twitter's not really big for y'all anymore, is it? Or is Twitter big? Twitter's so big for me. But anytime you could tweet something and delete it in like 10 seconds. But if one person sees it and screenshots it or like is able to pull it back up, like that's it, you're done. So you really need to be careful about what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're showing.
It's not even for athletes.
No,
like,
that's just for everyone in general.
Yeah. So definitely, even if you're not an athlete and you're listening to this, watch what you post, because that can definitely get you kicked out of a job quick. But I told my dad earlier, because me and him went on a trip together for my birthday. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what's weird? Newberry College Volleyball follows me. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, they randomly just started following me.
Yeah.
Like, that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the first college to ever follow me, but
you never know who has their eyes on you, because a lot of the times there could be profiles or like big names, like whether it be a company or a school, that maybe they're not following you, but they're keeping tabs on you. If you pique their interest in any way, they're going to be making sure like, hey, is this girl okay, or is this guy okay? We want to make sure that we want them here, or we want them to be involved with what we're all about.
And you also have to watch who tags you and stuff,
mm-hmm.
because if you were at a party, colleges might not really care that much that you were at a party,
Depending on what you're doing at
yeah,
said
depends
party,
on what
but
you're doing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But if they see you at a party with a red Solo cup in your hand, it may not even be alcohol.
Not a good look.
But it's still not a good look. Yeah, like you said, it's not a good look. It could have been water. It
Yeah.
could have been sweet tea. You don't know. But still, it's just the thought of seeing that red Solo cup and what it is stereotyped to be at a party.
What do you think are some causes of this stress that we see in student athletes?
Kind of going back to the schedule of a D1 athlete, training way too much. A lot of people that are athletes are training like that. And that can be a lot for someone.
It definitely takes a toll on you, not only physically, but 100% mentally. Because I could remember there's plenty of times that, like, I'd get done with practice when I was back in high school, and I would just be a limp noodle the rest of the day. Like, mind and body, I didn't want to do anything. Like, I was just ready to, like, go to bed, restart the schedule, be done.
Yeah. Lack of free time and social time, kind of like what we said earlier, like practice, weightlifting, film, on a bus to a game, in their room, doing schoolwork, in class, sleeping for the 5 minutes that they get. Like,
yeah, 5 minutes. That's pretty much right.
It's just, you're constantly going, and so you never get to actually get out and go do something unless you want to fail your classes, which will get you kicked off the team, stuff like that. And one thing that does kind of go back to that schedule, it does teach you time management. I will say that is a positive of a huge schedule like that.
Yeah,
but
it's a great thing.
Still bad. It's a lot for someone. Overwhelming amount of schoolwork in such a short amount of time. Luckily, on the buses to games, normally the girls I'm basically focusing everything on volleyball.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
because it's my sport.
Fun. Yeah.
Like, they will have their hotspot on, and they'll be using that to work on schoolwork.
Yeah.
On the way to games or the hotel or stuff like that, which is smart. Time management doesn't let you just sit there and play on your phone the whole time. You're actually doing something productive, but still, it's a lot of homework just to do in like a short amount of time, because you only get 9 p.m. to midnight to do homework, and you want to sleep because you've been up since 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, sleep is much needed.
And pressure of your performance. You are expected to be perfect when you're not. I know I have to talk to the 8th graders today on mistakes, because we played our rivals and it didn't turn out the way we wanted, and everyone was getting in their head.
Yeah.
And I was telling the coaches earlier, I was like, mistakes happen. Volleyball is a game of mistakes. If you don't make a mistake, then something's wrong. Like, the other team probably really sucks.
Yeah.
It's just, mistakes happen. And I was telling them, I was like, they get in their head about the little mistakes. Everyone makes a mistake. Parker, you made mistakes when you were
tons
playing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know I did when I was playing. Anyone who has ever played a sport has made a mistake. You may have gotten yelled at for it, but it's fine. It's not like the coach is going to sit there and make you run the whole entire practice for it, because it happens. Yeah. And my coach, the coach that's part of the team, well, head coach of the team, she was like, I totally agree with you. You're going to make mistakes, which is why I don't pull those girls until after the 3rd or 4th mistake in a row.
Yeah.
If you constantly make those mistakes, we will have to pull you. But pulling you from the game, to me, is more of a get your head back in the game, just kind of calm down, think, and then go out on the court and let it all out.
Yeah.
It happens. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of athletes don't understand that. And I think that kind of goes back towards pressure of your performance. You cannot make a mistake.
There's way too many times that I've seen student athletes at every single level that just get in their head way too much, and honestly what it ends up happening is they start overthinking, and then they can't perform well because they're thinking about too much of what they're doing rather than just going out there and playing the game.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that you could do, is just, enjoy your time out there, trust your own instincts, and trust the guy or girl next to you, and know that they're going to do what they need to do, and you need to do what you're going to do.
Yeah. I think as long as everyone knows their position on the field, court, whatever sport it is, I think you do your job. If you don't do your job, then mistakes are going to happen.
Yeah.
But again, like, there's times you're going to make a mistake. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And you're going to make mistakes outside of sports too. So, I mean, any type of mistake, it's going to happen. Don't let it get to you. I think that's what causes these mental health issues.
And it was actually kind of shocking seeing this percentage from both males and females that are in sports. Over 38% of women in sports struggle with some type of mental health problem or disorder, and 22% of men also have those same issues.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of challenges that come along with it. I know that you had a couple of them listed here.
Yeah. Anxiety disorders, depression, eating disorders. Those three are like the huge ones that come up in surveys. I think they did like a survey, NCAA. I think they did a survey. I saw that they did, but I didn't look through it. But I think those were some of the huge ones that came up in those surveys.
And injury can play a pretty big role too, right?
Yes. I know I was injured for 2 years. So I had tendonitis in my elbow. It sucked. Absolutely hated it. And volleyball has been in my life for 11 years. So it's kind of like that. What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and like watch them play when this is my stress reliever. And volleyball was always with the most stressful part of the school year, kind of for me. The exams, yeah, they're stressful, but I'm not having to worry about, okay, I got to go to practice. I can just worry about going home and studying. But at the beginning of the year, it's kind of like that. Okay, go to practice, go home, do homework. If it's not done, what am I supposed to do? You know?
All right.
So that stress, I was still a part of the team, so I had to be there. So I still had the stress that the other athletes had that could actually play. And I'm just sitting there watching practice, and I was required to be there. So I'm a part of the team.
I definitely understand and get that. I remember, I want to say, I was probably like 17 playing football and absolutely destroyed my knee and ended up not being able to play the rest of the season. And it was absolute torture having to go out there and, you know, watch all of my friends and everyone else that was a part of the team be a part of it. And you just feel like you're on the outside looking in a little. And it's really tough to deal with sometimes. Yeah. And I think the best way to actually deal with that is to try and get involved as much as you can. So if you're seeing things out there that maybe like your teammates don't see, like try to point it out for them, try to be as helpful as possible. You know, if you're injured but you're still able to walk around, like, you know, help out with getting them some water or anything. Any way that you could be supportive at all and be a part of that team in the best way that you can is not only going to help yourself, it's going to help your team do better in the long run.
Yeah. And what I've noticed is that coaches care about your opinion, especially when you're injured and you're not out there on the field and you're able to see it from their point of view. You're a student athlete. You probably have better eyes than them. We don't know exactly how you can benefit them in different aspects, but you're able to see like, hey, I played that position. I know what he's doing wrong. It's just the little things, and the coaches are sitting there looking at the whole entire team, not just that one person. Yeah, so absolutely. With me being like a student manager for the middle school, because I'm technically not allowed to have the coach title.
Right. Gotta get certified for that.
Yeah. Like, I'm over the DSs because I'm short, and that was my position.
Right.
So I'm watching them, and the head coach is watching the little things and the hitters and the setters, while the other two coaches are sitting there taking stats or watching the serving or watching this, kind of watching the other little things. One coach cannot watch everything that happens on that court or on the field, so having that person kind of be in the background, I think that helps watch the little things.
Yeah. Because it is all in the little things a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to deal with all of the struggles of being a student athlete, both mental and physical, it's through mental toughness. And basically what that is your ability to persevere through any of these struggles that you have. So like we were talking about earlier, where like if you mess up during a game or during practice, it's perfectly okay if that happens. All right, everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect. Your mindset has got to be, all right, messed up that time, next play, here we go. And you got to stay confident in yourself. You can't allow yourself to be brought down by your own inner demons and thoughts. You just have to, you know, trust that you're going to keep doing better and you're going to do what you can do best.
Yeah.
And that's all that anyone's ever going to ask out of you.
Oh, yeah. definitely. I know when I first started playing volleyball, I was always getting in my head. And my dad would come up to me. He was like, you got to learn that mental toughness.
It's hard to get out of a habit.
It's very, very hard. But at the same time, I'm very glad that I had a dad that was able to come to me and say, hey, you got to learn that mental toughness and help me build that mental toughness. Because if I didn't have it, I would probably be breaking down after every game because I'm like, I missed that pass or I missed that serve, blah, blah, blah. And mental toughness is huge in sports.
Mm-hmm.
For volleyball, it's just you make mistakes, you have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
In football, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is like when you make mistakes, and then another thing, it's a contact sport.
Yeah.
So every single time that you hit that field and you are on the ground, are you going to be able to get back up?
Yeah.
And I think that speaks a lot, not only for like just the game itself of you being able to get back up, but if you're struggling through anything or, you know, mental or you're dealing with depression, just know that, you know, you can get back up. No one's wailing on you while you're sitting down there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to be able to do it on your own. And then most of the time, you're going to have your teammates to pick you up while you're there too.
Yeah. And mental toughness doesn't just play into sports. It plays into the classroom too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe in yourself that you are going to do it. If you don't believe in yourself, then it's going to cause these mental health challenges. And, I mean, you probably agree with me on that.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to, I was telling some of the girls last night, I was like, you have to believe in yourself. Like, I was hitting the balls at them so freaking hard last night, and they were just like, I can't get it. I was like, yes, you can. You have to sit there and believe in yourself that you can get that ball.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one, they got it up. And it's just that feeling of, I told them what they need to do, they did it, and now that helps them.
Yeah.
They just have to believe that they can get it. And, you know, it's the same for football. You have to believe that you can get that ball whenever you're a wide receiver. Or you can believe that you can get that tackle and you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And same for basketball. You can, as long as you believe that you can get that basket.
Yeah.
That's right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's the right terminology.
Score that bucket, swish. You're doing great.
I'm going to go just baseball then. I'm just going to ignore basketball.
Hit them dingers.
If you believe that you can hit a double, you can hit a double. If you can believe you can hit a triple or a home run, you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself and play smart.
Yeah. Well, that was really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was fun, even though I forced you to do this.
Hey, you know what? I ended up having a really good time. So,
Haha.
yeah. If you want to wrap it
better.
up with our social medias.
Yes. So, that's the end of our episode. And athletes definitely can use this, I hope. I know I'm going to be using it.
I think they'll be able to.
I'll make the girls listen to it.
Yeah. I want them to be able to listen to this. I think it's going to be really helpful.
Yeah. So, that's it. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Our Facebook is Pickens County Youth Board, and Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
Our we are PCYB.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Bye.